Hey guys, recently I picked up an Addy's Dive AD2050 GMT watch. It features a Ronda 515.24 GMT movement. I got this for about $60 during the last AliExpress sale. I'm a huge fan of quartz watches because of their simplicity and maintenance. I'm just not a fan of the naming of this particular watch, so in this video I'll show you how to remove it along with the Cyclops magnifier. Keep in mind that this only works on some watch styles that have printed on logos. Some watch styles have textures and paints that will be ruined if you get it wet. All you're going to need is some isopropyl alcohol. I have this bottle from Walmart. It's their house brand, Equate. It's about 91% proof. You'll also need some cotton swabs. I prefer the microfiber variety since they don't leave any fibers like the cotton ones do. And you'll also need a lot of patience. So the first thing we're going to do is take off this case back. It's not on really tight, so I use this rubber ball tool, which works really well. It's just using friction to turn it. There are metal tools that you can buy, but this one works just fine for my uses. So once the case back is off, we can see the Ronda 515 movement. To get the movement out of the case, we're going to have to remove the stem. There's a little hole near the stem that you can poke, and that will release it. So as you push down, also pull out the stem. After removing the stem and the movement holder, it should just drop out of the case. And what we're going to do is put it on this little stand here. And you want to make sure that the movement is stopped. So plug the stem back into it and pull it out to hack the movement to stop it from moving. Now we're going to mask off the areas of the dial with painter's tape. Don't use regular masking tape since it may leave some residue. I plan to keep the logo and just remove the lettering. So in this example, it's a good idea to mask off certain areas to prevent the alcohol from getting into places you don't want it to. You should take the hands off, but I left them on and worked carefully around them. The key is to use a very tiny amount of alcohol and dab it on and off. Try not to rub too hard. You're trying to let the alcohol dissolve the white lettering and then mopping it up with the Q-tip. Don't try to rub it around because all you're really doing is just smearing the dissolved ink. Just get the swab moist and dab it on. It may not look like it's doing anything, but after several dabs, and you'll see the lettering start to fade. Swap to a new Q-tip if you have to after a while, so you're not just smearing the white paint around that gets collected on the swab. Take your time and just don't rush it. You should test the alcohol on the edge of the dial to make sure that it doesn't strip the coating or paint. And once you can confirm that it's not going to do anything weird to the dial, then you could start doing it on the logo area. So I've only been successful removing the logo on these models of watches. So specifically the AD2050 and the MYH3. So you could try it on your other dials at your own risk. And if you're successful, please leave a comment in this video and tell people what watch you did this on. So if others want to try it on there, they can. It's probably going to take you a good 10-15 minutes before the lettering starts disappearing. So I'm doing this in real time right now, so you can see how quickly that is. But feel free to skip past this section because I didn't want to speed it up. I just wanted to let you really see how long it takes before the lettering starts disappearing. Now for the moment of truth, we're going to remove the masking tape and show you the results. Now there may be a bit of like ink on the rest of the dial near the logo. So what you want to do is, again, carefully go in there with a Q-tip and just kind of dab away at the excess ink that was removed. So here it is after it's been cleaned up a bit. The logo is pretty good. There is a bit of residue on the right hand side, so make sure you clean up everything and use a blower before putting it back on the case. If you plan to remove the logo and the name, you'll have a lot of negative space on the dial, which may look a bit odd. In that case, you can make your own logos and apply it to the empty space. There are several services online that will take your design and make a watch logo for it. Your logos have to be like a single piece, like these. Here are a few examples. I basically created the logo using Bing Image Creator. So the bottom left one would work as a logo because it is one single whole piece, whereas the other three, they won't work because there's some floating parts there, so that won't work out as a logo. Another thing I'm not a big fan of is the Cyclops magnifier. I'll probably regret it when I turn 60, but at this time, I don't like having any sort of magnifier on my watch because I think it makes it look ugly. It's not very symmetrical. So to remove it, all you need is a jet lighter torch to heat up the little piece of glass, the magnifier, and then it should pop off. So once the glue is heated up, you can get like a toothpick and then just kind of poke it off. It shouldn't take a lot of effort. You shouldn't need to heat it up for longer than a few seconds. You need a torch since it can apply a lot of heat in a very focused area. So a normal lighter may not work. So make sure you do this with the movement out of the case, and so it doesn't get too hot and damage it. So as you saw, the first time I used the torch on it, I wasn't able to pry it off, but I did it a second time for a few seconds, and now it should just pop off like that. And it will leave a bit of a residue, so just clean it up with a cloth and some alcohol, and you should be good. There are many affordable watches from China, but some of their names are just kind of funny, so it's good to be able to remove them. I'd much rather wear a watch with a stereo dial or a simple logo than some weird name. I'd even be okay with it if they just imprinted the model number on the dial instead. It really distracts from the aesthetics when you have a bad name. Anyways, that's it for this video. Just to reiterate, remember to test the alcohol on a small area of the dial to see how it reacts before doing it on the logo. Also, be prepared to buy a new dial or watch if you ruin it. I was never going to wear a watch with a weird name on it, so I had nothing to lose. Have a nice day, and I'll talk to you in the next video.